Hey guys, welcome back to the ChesnoidPlays channel here on YouTube. This is different yet familiar. Episode 1 of my team on F1 2022. Brand new looking cars, brand new regulations. Cannot wait to get going with this series. Now this first episode is going to be bumper length because we'll have the creation of the My Team, and also included in that will be our first full Grand Prix weekend at Bahrain. Now of course, as those of you that are familiar will know, we do 100% race distance here on Chesnoid Gaming Twitch channel and ChesnoidPlays on YouTube. So it's going to be a long one, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. Please do smash the like button with this first episode, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, then make sure you do. This will be a nearly daily series, certainly daily for the first week or so. We'll stream it live over on Twitch, so if you want to come across and join me and watch live, then please do so. Link down below. But make sure you subscribe to this ChesnoidPlays channel at the very least to ensure that you don't miss out on any of the content. So, without any further ado, seeing as this is going to be a rather lengthy first episode, which hopefully you guys will enjoy in its entirety, let's start my team. Now this year, rather than just being a newcomer, you can dictate how you start the save. You can have a bit of a head start. Because see, as a newcomer, we start at level 1 with no money and no infrastructure. That's the word I'm looking for. No infrastructure. Or you can start as a midfield challenger, start at level 6 with $5 million worth of backing with a level 1 infrastructure, or jump straight in as a championship contender, level 16, $10 million in the bank with level 2 infrastructure. Now this is a Road to Glory style series. We will be a newcomer, thank you, with a full season, including of course all of the sprint races that are involved this year. Now, custom settings, thank you very much. My assists are as you see them here. They won't change throughout the course of the save. Full practice, full qualifying, full session length. Give me 100% race distance, please. Thank you very much. All of those settings are sorted, and it's time to show you what the team looks like. Of course, we have picked the car, picked our details for the car, made a livery, made team colours, etc, etc. So let's show you what it's all about before we head to the first race weekend in Bahrain. We've started, as we've headed on our way in, actually, with some decent advancements already in the powertrain department. You can notice we've got some progress in a couple of areas already. Weirdly, I thought we'd start as the worst team, officially. But despite the fact we've started as a newcomer, actually, we find ourselves the 4th slowest team. We're actually 8th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're actually the 8th fastest team, not the 11th fastest team, as I expected it to be. So we might stand the chance to challenge for points right from the off. I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of wanted to start as the worst team, but it is what it is. We shall wait and see how things go. So, with regards to corporate, we have selected Echo as our primary sponsor for this first season. All we need to do to get the goal bonus of nearly £4 million, or $4 million, is to achieve, as a team, so me or my teammate, 2 points finishes during a season. That should absolutely be achievable, especially considering we're not the slowest car on the grid. Question is, what driver did I hire? I hired Theo Porcher from F2. He's got a level 5 driver esteem already, and you'll notice that some of his stats are boosted. That's from some of the activities we did once we arrived at the factory before advancing towards the Bahrain Grand Prix. In the driver market, there are some icons in here: Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost. They're split by category, so there's 3 gold there. Then there's a couple of silver level ones, Jenson Button and Jacques Villeneuve. And then we have some bronze level icons as well in Felipe Massa, David Coulthard, Nico Hülkenberg and Mark Webber. For the time being, nobody else has been hired. Obviously, that we have driver moves on, so people will move throughout the course of the save. This is what our driver looks like, what our helmet will look like, what our gloves. Obviously, Theo Porcher will have his own helmet, but I've unlocked a couple of other things, I think, thanks to the podium pass. My victory call is going to be into battle. No, that's a new one. We're going to have this one. We're going to go... Not that we're going to be hearing a victory call anytime soon, I might add. So, that's what we look like. The car looks like this. I think that is one of the best looking default starting cars we have ever had in a My Team. The customization this year is a step on from last year, shall we say. Whilst it's obviously not as customizable as it would be on PC with mods, etc. Certainly, there are some better options now. And again, we've unlocked some extra potential liveries through the podium pass and will continue to do so. But I think that is a great starting livery. I really like that. Really, really like that. So we're going to crack on with that. We changed the Echo livery to black. It was defaulted to white. I might change my driver number to black as well. I'm not sure how I do that. So we'll have a look into that off camera. But for now, we're going to head to the... well, actually, no. What you need to know as well is the fact that we have a Red Bull powertrain engine. We went with Red Bull rather than the two better Mercedes and Ferrari. We didn't go as bad as the Renault engine. We're kind of third of 4 in regards to the engine capability. But you'll notice we're already spec 1 with the powertrain, which is great. We haven't got many resource points yet. We've got some, though, as you can see. So we might throw some resource points into the car already. But I might just go and do qualifying, and then we'll put some resource points in after this first race weekend. So make sure you drop the video a like if you're enjoying. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more moving forward. 100% race distance, of course, as we mentioned earlier. And do come across and join me on Twitch. Link in the description down below. You can come and watch these live. We're live every day for the next week or so. So do come across and join me. We'll have open lobbies during the afternoon. And then later in the afternoon, around about 4 o'clock, we'll switch and we'll do some My Team. So let's crack on then. It's time to head to Bahrain. Okay, so practice programs we've gotten a decent amount of resource points from. We're not going to get the quali pace one because we're just not quick enough. Time management, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get the purple there. So we might try that again in practice 2, actually, with some fresh tyres on. But for now, we're going to retire from that session. We're going to take those resource points and add them to our tally. And hopefully it won't be long before we're unlocking as much stuff as physically possible with those resource points and improving the car. On first taste in that first practice session, it feels okay. On light fuel, on heavy loads, it could be completely different. You see, I've got a bit of an edge of about half a second on my teammate, which is probably about right considering the nature of Teo Poche's ability level in the scale of all the drivers. But we are going to monitor the difficulty level over the first 2 or 3 race weekends just to make sure we can fine-tune it. Obviously, that will fluctuate throughout the course. Brand new game, brand new cars, whole new set of regulations. We're not just going to be able to dive in where we were and pick up where we left off. It's like relearning an entire new game again. So, I'm actually going to go into a bit of practice 2 and just do that tyre management one again and see if I can get a little bit more. If I can, I'll show you it. If I can't, then join me in quali. Come on, purple, 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 purple. Yeah, there we go. We got purple. Only just, but we did it. We got purple. So, therefore, YouTube will see that. I really like the new graphic and watching the line go up and down. That's very, very good indeed. Even just displaying the same sort of data as you were seeing before in a new way makes it feel fresh. And you can see that the tyre lifespan for us is actually a little bit better than the expected life. I'm in the way, unfortunately. So it says actual tyre lifespan 19 laps, whereas the expected was 17 laps. The soft tyres are not going to last long at all. Right, we'll retire from session and we will head straight to qualifying. Advancing towards quali, you can see that Teo Poche managed to pick up 150 resource points, which is good for us. Puts us up into the 2000s. And development boosts have been applied as well, which is good. We're going to get a little bit of a discount on some of the areas, as you can see. It gives us a little bit, even more so than we currently had, actually, which is good news. That's going to come in handy long term. It really genuinely is, especially in these early seasons. So fingers crossed that continues to be in that nature. 7 to 10% is going to be enough, to be honest. And the team is going to get some acclaim as well. We're going to be up into level 2 at the very least. Maybe even up into level 3. No, just into level 2. Okay, that's fine. Plenty of resource points added. Plenty of team acclaim as well. Now it's time for quali. My first ever qualifying lap puts me into 3rd. Damn. 1:31.2. There's still plenty of time for other cars to go out and put laps in. We're about on par with the McLarens, it seems. As it stands, it looks like we're both going to get through. K-Mag needs to... I mean, the Haas was supposedly on paper a faster car than us. So at the minute, P11 is actually very respectable indeed. We're going to get through to, you hope that we're going to get through to Q2 with that. I don't feel the pressure to go out and do another lap at this stage. I've got, what, 4 tenths in hand? 4 or 5, or more than that, in fact. I think I'm happy enough to go to the end of the session with that. And hopefully that should be us through to Q2 without having to waste another set of tyres as people are going quicker. Have we just made a mistake by not going out again? Teo Pourchaire down to 16th. I'm down to 15th. We might be about to go out in Q1. Mick Schumacher has improved. K-Mag's probably going to improve as well. Oh, there was significant track development there, wasn't there? Track ramped up. Have we just cost ourselves potentially Q2 in our first ever qualifying session? Let's wait and see. We'll skip and Carlos Sainz is fastest. We are P18. We were a point, a tenth even, not a point, a tenth off Q2. That's fine. I think that's probably about right. Considering I only did one run, I think that's probably about right difficulty level wise. We could have gone out on a fresh set of tyres and improved. So I think we might be okay. Obviously, it's a frustrating first quali. We didn't want to go out in Q1. But having been about P11, 12, 13-ish after one run, given where we are in the hierarchy of cars, 8th fastest team. So we should be 15th and 16th-ish. And to be only a tenth and a half of 15th, 16th, having only done one run, I think that's probably about right. Just. Obviously, we will gauge it over the course of a full weekend. We'll see how we do on race pace, and we'll see what it's like at latter tracks. But for now, I think I'm happy enough with 85 being the difficulty level that we're sat at. We'll wait and see what it's like on race pace, and we certainly do expect to make some moves forward in the Grand Prix. So let's go and do that, shall we? Time for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Surprise, Charles Leclerc on pole, Max P2. No shocks there. Sainz then Russell in P4. Go on, George. Lewis and Checo down in P6. Imagine the Mercedes in-game is going to be a little bit better than it is in real life, because obviously it doesn't have any bloody porpoising. K-Mag in the top 10. Bottas P8 qualifying well for Alfa Romeo is no surprise. Norris in 13th with Zhou 14th. Albon then Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo struggling in the McLaren. Again, perhaps not a surprise. We're starting P18. Mick starting P19. Poor quali for him. Teo in 20th. Seb 21st and Latifi 22nd. We're hoping to make moves forward in the race, but it might be a little bit more difficult than previous years. Is an entire unknown here, race strategy-wise. It's recommending a two-stop. I would agree with that. I'm not really... If I toggle my personalised, my tyre wear's only slightly better, isn't it? You can see the soft tyre line and the medium tyre line moving slightly. So 14 laps on the first set, and 27 laps on the medium, and 16 laps on a soft at the end. That's what we'll go for. 78% tyre wear, pit lap 18. 61% tyre wear, pit lap 14. Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's a bit better for us. We'll be quicker at the end, which is obviously what you want. And then if we want to change that strategy, thanks to things happening in the race, then we absolutely can do. But I'm happy enough with that. So starting from P18, for the first time, we're going to see the broadcast version of the formation lap. Green light, and they're off. And we're formation lapping. Oh, I like this. I like the fact it says AI as well, so that'll work for online as well. That's it. A real selection of tyres. Leclerc and Russell, the only cars in the top 11 going on softs. Now, it's key to point out that... Oh, look at this! This is so sick! It's key to point out that the old rule of the top 10 that get through to Q3 having to start the race on the tyres that they qualified on in Q2 no longer exists. It's free tyre choice for everyone for the start of the Grand Prix. So everyone will be starting on brand new tyres. So we'll see if Charles Leclerc races off at the front. We'll see if George, I wonder why he's not French. We'll see if George can work his way through as well. Look at those 2 yellow cars on the right, don't they look sick? Standing out beautifully. Right, here we go. Formation lap underway. Engage the clutch.
Hold it there until the start. Right, feed in the throttle. Let's build the revs.
And we're off. Oh, tyre. No rear dampers whatsoever. Off we go for the first time. Oh, we're getting swallowed up. Right, what's going to happen around turn 1? Any danger? A little bit of clocking of the curb, but no bouncing off any other car, which is good. We've stayed P18. No DRS until lap 2, of course. Stroll's trying to have a look around the outside of us. We are heavy on fuel, of course, at this stage, so it's going to be pretty difficult to perform as well as we did in qualifying. Stroll just had my inside line there. I'm going to maybe have a look up the inside of him again, though, to try and get P18 back. There was a couple of cars there. There still is someone on the left-hand side. You can tell from the proximity arrows. It is Lance Stroll. We've held P18 on lap 1. Now, there are a lot of cars in front of us on slower compound tyres. So what I'd like to do is try and get past a few of those before... 3 abreast up there. Try and get past a few of those before the first pit stop so we don't waste time stuck behind some cars. That is Alex Albon dealt with. The Williams on hard tyres certainly shouldn't be quicker than us on softs. Had to use a bit. I used a bit of my battery there actually. Now look, Nicholas Latifi. Oh, it was Alex. Yeah, it was Alex Albon. Now Nicholas Latifi is further down the road. And I'm going to use my battery to stay in touch. But the McLarens on hards might still be quite quick. Having a look at Daniel Ricciardo. I did brake a little bit too late there and just kind of had to half commit to the move, but it did work, and we're up to P16.
That start was okay. Now stay alert for threats around you.
Okay, I made 2 places, pal. Come on, Mark. Give me a bit of credit. Oh, I got a bump in the back there from Daniel Ricciardo. I don't know whether he's done any damage to his front wing. Drop back a little bit. Alex Albon now right behind me. I'm pretty sure that was Daniel Ricciardo that gave me a little nudge up the back. Let's have a look into turn 1. Oh, he got a nudge. He got a nudge as well. Look, from the Aston Martin. I'm sure I saw him get a little bit of a nudge. Did he? Or no, he just swung out. Or was it on the other side from the Williams? No. So Daniel Ricciardo jinks a little bit and then just runs into the back of me. But as far as we can see, no visible damage done to the car. Let's have a look here. He could have given me a puncture there. We are on simulation damage. He could quite easily give me a puncture there, but no. He's gotten away with it. We've gotten away with it. No damage to either car that we're aware of. Right, I'm going to have to use some of my battery to try and keep up with those in front. Tyre wear at the minute. 4% on the fronts, 6% on the rears. That's okay. DRS will be enabled at the end of this lap. So we want to try and stay within a second of Lando in front if we can. And you can see that top left. You see the delta between the 2 cars. It is currently under a second. Stroll was on softs as well, which obviously explains why he was a bit punchy at the beginning. Right, with those display things moved, let's have a look. We do indeed have some pit stops. Well spotted, chat. Daniel Ricciardo has stopped, so he must have had some damage from the contact with us, and an Alfa Romeo has stopped as well. We have DRS here on Lando Norris. I'm not sure which Alfa Romeo it was. It may well have been Guan Yu Zhou, because there's an Alfa Romeo in front of Nicholas Latifi. 3 cars in front, there is an Alfa, so we'll wait and see who that is. And then, of course, it was the other one that stopped. Is that Mercedes that pit as well? I think a Mercedes has also gone into the pits there if you look bottom left at the track map. So whether it's George or Lewis, one of them has stopped and had to pit for presumably nose damage of some description. Now, there is DRS down this straight as well, but at the minute those in front also have it because they're within a second of the car in front of them as well. Now let's have a quick look and see who pit there and have a look. Lance Stroll collision with Albon, Albon collision with Stroll, and Théo Pourchaire actually had a collision with Schumacher, who got a warning for it. Pit stops. Lewis Hamilton front wing. Lewis Hamilton did have front wing damage, as did Valtteri Bottas, as did Daniel Ricciardo. Now Ricciardo hit me, and that wasn't my fault. I broke exactly where I should have done. He ran into the back of me. What happened to Valtteri Bottas, not sure. Nor Lewis Hamilton, but collisions throughout the field. Valtteri started about P8, didn't he? So maybe he even had a coming together with Valtteri Bottas, although Lewis pit lap 1, Valtteri pit lap 2. So the Mercedes hadn't been in the pits that lap. It had been in the pits the lap before, and Bottas and Ricciardo just so happened to have come out near Lewis, after their pit stops on lap 3. So Max has gone from second to first. Charles on those soft tyres hasn't worked for him at the start. Checo's gone from P6 to P3. Sainz and Russell have gone back one, and of course Lewis pitting as well. K-Mag a good gainer from the start. Similarly, Pierre Gasly up from P12 to P8. Zhou is up from... Wow, look at Latifi. Started 22nd, Nicholas Latifi, and he's somehow P12 right now. How has he pulled that out the bag? We're up from P18 to P14, but Nicholas Latifi's up 10 places. How on earth has he done that? Right, we will try and stick with Lando here. He's on the hards. Latifi in front is on the soft, so Latifi might be quite quick. Whereas we expect Lando to perhaps be a little bit vulnerable. I do have Mick Schumacher right behind me within a second, so he should get DRS down the straight as well. I'm hoping Lando will fall out of DRS range of Nicholas Latifi, although I don't think he has. But we're right with him now, and on those hard tyres, he will be vulnerable, provided I don't spin my back end out. Now, is he going to go defensive? We've got a little bit of a run, but now we're about level. He's got a Mercedes engine in there, of course, whereas we only have the Red Bull one, which isn't quite so good in a straight line. But we're going to have DRS here as well. Try and stick with Lando. He now doesn't have DRS, so he has fallen out of DRS range of Nicholas Latifi. So that will make him certainly very vulnerable down the next few DRS zones. Use some of our battery as well. Catch him up. And he won't have DRS. He is more than a second away from Nicholas Latifi, so we should get Lando here. DRS open. His is not. He does have a straight line advantage, it seems. Having to use almost all my battery here. I'm going to go on the attack. He's gone defensive. I'm not quite going to get it done this lap. He slowed right down on the apex there. That was annoying. Now I've got Mick Schumacher alongside me. He's gone for a move as well. Mick trying to get past me too. I'm going to have to be wary of that. Concentrating on what's in front of me. And here comes the German in his Haas. Go deep. Try and hold the outside line and power around him, which we've done well. We've held the position. That was good driving from Mick. It was good driving from us. And we're still just within touching distance of Lando Norris as well, which is good news. So we're still within DRS range of the McLaren too. Not a bad race so far. Made up some positions. Obviously, a couple, Valtteri and Lewis, thanks to mistakes from them, forcing them to need to pit. But we have made a couple of on-track overtakes as well. See if we can gain on Lando here. He's still going to have DRS though, Mick Schumacher. So I can't just completely ignore him behind me. Latifi's starting to come back towards us now that he's lost DRS on the cars that were in front of him, which is good news. He was kind of getting dragged along by those quicker cars in front of him. Now that those quicker cars have dropped him, he is falling back towards us because that Williams isn't as fast as the McLaren or ourselves or the Haas or the Aston Martin behind us yet still. Right up behind the McLaren. Right. Battery and DRS. We should have Lando now. From P13, he's gone defensive, but we should be able to hopefully hold it around the outside. He's going to try and put the squeeze on us. But to be fair, he's been very respectful with Racing Room, and we'll nip across there, and that is us up to P13. Now he's going to have DRS, so I'm going to go defensive. He actually hasn't opened his DRS there. He's going to try and get me back, but I'm going to give him the squeeze. And he's still there. I should have the inside line for this next one, though. And there we go. We've squeezed him out. And actually, he's lost the place to Mick. Well, they're side by side now behind us. Now it's a case of trying to close down that gap to Latifi. Try and ignore what's behind us. Mick has been able to nudge himself in front of Lando as well. So the McLaren loses 2 spaces, two positions over the course of a couple of corners. I was a little bit slow there on my turn. There's a raid from Xbox On. Thank you very much indeed, guys. Appreciate it very much. 165 of you coming in. And we're trying... Oh, as Mick Schumacher comes to try and overtake me, we're trying to... Oh, he's gone for an overtake into the final corner. Brave. Not really the go-to position, but he was over the... He was behind me over the DRS detection point, so he's not only made the overtake, but now he's got DRS to pull away from me as well. That Haas is quick. Judging by the performance index, it was a quicker car than us anyway, so on paper, he is a quicker car than us. And at the minute, on tarmac, it appears to be the case as well, although we now have DRS behind him. Again, thank you very much for the follow, for the host, Xbox On. Appreciate it very much indeed. We are engrossed in some battles here, so apologies if I didn't quite give it the impetus or the oomph that it deserved. But we're kind of concentrating quite hard right now, trying not to crash into the cars around us whilst also overtake them as well. This is of course our first Grand Prix with our default straight out the box car, so we will be making improvements to it over the course of the seasons that we'll race. But right now we're in a decent position. P14 in our first ever Grand Prix as a team, let alone as a driver, is actually pretty respectable. 14 of 22 as well, as you can see top right, so there are still the full amount of cars on the track. Lando's not really gaining on us at the minute. He's staying about 6 to 8 tenths behind. So we're actually all right for pace at present, I think. It just so happens that Mick in front is in a much quicker Haas.
2.1 seconds.
Thank you, Mark. Oh, I've gone wide there. That's going to cost me time. Mick's going for it, but Nicholas is forcing him the long way around the outside. Has he gotten the job done? Yes, he has. But Nick Latifi is fighting back again, and he's got the position back again. Go on, Nicholas! And he is slowing them up. They are falling back into us here. We're gaining a couple of tenths. And the longer they're side by side fighting one another, the more we're going to catch them up. You see the deltas top left. They are fighting hard. Nicholas Latifi does not want to give up. P12 to the Haas. And we've gained about half a second on them because of that. Thank you, Nicholas. He's working exactly as we hoped it would. You can see my teammate now has pulled up to the back of Lance Stroll behind. In the other yellow marked car. Thierry Pocher now up to P17, which is an improvement from him. 3 more laps and we'll be coming in for a set of medium tyres. And we have the pit stop set to have the manual option to it, which I have never done before. So it's going to be an experience. I might balls it up. It might cost us quite a bit of time. We shall wait and see. Latifi's slow as well. Not only is Mick pulling away from him, but Latifi is actually not that quick in a straight line. That Williams is not very fast. And with DRS and the battery, we're going to try and get past Nicholas here. They're around the outside. Thank you very much for the subscription. Can we celebrate the subscription with an overtake? He's still there, Latifi. We're alongside him. We squeezed him out. That's us up into P13. Tamiku, thank you very much for the 16th month, mate. Mick is flying. You are right. Mick Schumacher in that Haas is doing a great job. Lando and Latifi now going side by side. That's going to cost them time. They're already out of DRS range behind us, which is, again, only going to help our strategy. And they're still battling hard there. Still going side by side, the two of them. That is a hell of a battle between Lando Norris and Nicholas Latifi. For the time being, it's really playing into our hands. Yellow flag. Oh, that's the Williams. The Williams is... Have they had a coming together? Has he had a mechanical failure? Let's have a look. There's a yellow flag behind us for these two. Let's see what happens. Do they collide with one another? Do they collide with one another on the way in here? Let's have a look. No, he's just run wide. Okay, so the yellow flag is just because he's run wide off the track. He got caught on that curb. got caught on that curb because the cars are lower this year than they have been in previous. So some of the curbs around many of the tracks you'll actually bottom out on and not be able to turn. That's what's happened to Latifi here. He's bottomed out there and the curb has spat him out to the left. So there's no contact, but there was a yellow flag that has now quickly become a green flag again. And unfortunately for Latifi, he's lost a few places there.
Green flag.
Green flag racing, we are back underway again. That's helped our teammate up a position as well. Which is good news. You can see the gap to Zhou Guanyu in P11 is actually quite sizable now. It's nearly 8 seconds. We're going to pit next lap for our set of mediums. Now the pit stops are different this year. There is now an optional, I must say, new addition to the pit stops where you have to manually turn in to get into your pit box. If you time it right, you'll have a great stop.
2.3 seconds.
If you time it wrong, it will cost you time. And I've never done it before. And I'm about to find out just how terrible at it I am. Is anyone else going to pit here? There are a couple of other cars in the pits, including Zhou Guanyu from P11. So mix in, as is one of the Alpha Tauris, as is Zhou Guanyu. Turn in here. I need to press A at exactly the right. Oh, I turned in late. Estimated pit stop 3 to 3.3 seconds.
Okay, there seems to have been a problem attaching the right rear wheel.
Oh no!
Put that behind us and let's finish this race strong.
Pit stop problem. Attaching the right rear tyre there. Let's have a look at that in the replay. I pressed the button a little bit late there. And what happened with the right rear? Let's have a look. Look, watch the... I might be in the way here. Let me move my camera out of the way so that you guys can see what happens here with this pit stop. The rear right was slow on. It was fine coming off, but there was an issue getting it on the rear right. He's struggling to get it in, and it's not quite there, and now that he can come in and put it on. So we've lost a little bit of time there. That was a long pit stop for us. But that's our first experience of the new pit stops, and even though it's cost us time, I love that. Lewis Hamilton behind us. Lewis Hamilton behind us has also stopped for a second time. And you guys in chat told me to be very wary of my tyres as we come out of the pits, because they are going to be cold and like driving on ice and slipperier than they have been in previous years. And indeed that is correct. They're only about 73 degrees at the minute, and it really is like driving on ice here. See my tyre temps here.
Burn off some of this energy.
Tyres are really cold, but thankfully for me, it's the same for the others that were behind us as well. The tyres are getting up to temperature. On that graphic in the middle, the top one of the three is the surface temperature. No, sorry, the carcass temperature inside of the tyre. The middle one is the surface temperature of the tyre, and the bottom one is the temperature of the brakes. Now, Ricciardo has managed to get past Lewis Hamilton behind, thanks to his cold, hard tyres. Now, I imagine Lewis is actually going to go to the end there. Now, Daniel Ricciardo has taken me as well. We're down to P20. Teammates in the pits now. Teammate in the pits. Théo Pourchaire, our teammate, is making his first pit stop. And we did have a slow pit stop, of course, so that's going to affect our competitiveness as well. Théo in the pits. And he's pitting. Thankfully, we'll get the DRS. No slipstream, but we'll get the DRS. Théo Pourchaire's coming out of the pits now. We're past Valtteri Bottas. There is my teammate coming out of the pits. And my long pit stop has cost me time here to my teammate. But he now is going to be on those colder, slipperier tyres. My tyres are now up to temperature, and his are not. So he's going to be slow through the corners and in the traction zones, and you can see that here. So he's going to be vulnerable, and he's on the hard compound as well. So we're just going to drive quite simply all the way around the outside of him, get ourselves up in front of our teammate. No team orders needed there. Thank you very much, Théo. I will take P17 off you if you don't mind. Mick Schumacher's also gone onto the hard tyre in front of us as well. Really intrigued by the fact that some drivers are on different strategies to us. It looks like some of them are trying to do a one-stop with a soft to a hard. We're doing soft, medium, soft, so we'll see if that works in our favour or in their favour come the end of the Grand Prix. Currently running P17 now. I'll try and use some on my battery and my younger, not necessarily younger, softer tyre compound to close the gap on Mick Schumacher if possible, although that Haas on hards might still be a quicker car than our Chesnoid Racing one on mediums. We will find out. Gap at 5.4 seconds currently. You imagine behind, Théo Pourchaire is going to lose out to Lewis Hamilton very, very soon indeed. They are battling behind and Lewis is now through. Makes me so happy.
We can catch the car ahead. Gap currently 5 seconds.
Oh, there's some debris on the track there. Look, that was a bit of someone's front wing was lying on the track there. Now, I'm not sure whose it is, but someone is going to be slow. And in front, Mick Schumacher's right behind Alex Albon, who's right behind an Aston Martin. So they might be battling up there. And that might be Alex Albon picking up a little bit of damage. It did look like a Williams front wing, if he's slow or if anyone pits for front wing damage. But you'll notice on the mini-map, bottom left, yellow flags behind us. Just someone going wide, I think. Yellow flags at turn 10, but they've gone now. Let's see, does Albon pit? He does indeed. So Alex Albon must have had front wing damage. He's now pitting, and that's going to gain us a position. Thank you very much indeed. Although that position is soon to be lost, probably, to the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton, who is going to go for it into turn 1. And my fight in this race isn't with him, so I'm not going to fight it too hard. But I will try and hold the position if I can, because it might play into our hands later in the race. Gap to Mick now 3.8, whereas it was previously 5.1. But now he's past that Williams. It might still extend a bit. We'll wait and see. We're trying to get to lap 41 on these tyres. Lap 41, and you can see top left. This is lap 18. So we've quite a way to go before we pit again. Unless, of course, there's a safety car, in which case we might change strategy. The true gauge of how this stint might well play out with us, or this strategy might well play out. Théo Pourchaire, I presume, having gone softs to hard, is one stopping. So our teammate currently is 4.2 seconds behind us, and we believe he doesn't have to pit again, whereas we do. So we want to see that gap to Théo increase from 4.2 seconds over the next 20 or so laps to about 25 seconds if we can get it that high, if possible. We want to go about a second a lap to try and open that gap up, and I'm not sure it's actually going to do that. We're kind of holding station with Mick at the minute, about 3.1 seconds as well. Where Lance Stroll is on soft tyres in front of him. Has Lance gone soft? Because Lance was on softs before. So there are 3 or 4 different strategy types playing out here. You've got Lando that's gone hards from the start. You've got Charles that went soft to hard. George has gone soft to hard. Seb started on mediums and a number of others started on mediums and they haven't stopped yet. And Lance Stroll has gone soft. I've gone soft medium. There are at least 3, if not 4 different strategies being played out here by a number of different drivers. So how this race is going to end, couldn't tell you. Lewis is going for it. Our fight isn't with him, but if Lewis is quick, if Lewis is super quick, then maybe he can help drag us up to Mick Schumacher. We'll try and use Lewis's DRS, if I can stay within a second of him, which is probably easier said than done. Not going to be able to stick with him, unfortunately. Vader, thank you much for the 11 months, my man. Well, it's half a second between them now. Lewis has just gone.
Okay, some information on Gasly. Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Okay, so Gasly's losing some pace. That's good news. Oh, hang on. Yellow flag, final corner. I see a Ferrari going slowly. Oh, it's a puncture. It's a puncture for Charles Leclerc. Where he's picked it up, I'm not sure. You can see the carcass on the tyre on that right-hand side. It's just flapping about. Look at that. That's a new animation this year. The whole surface of the tyre has come away from the rim. That's a puncture for Charles Leclerc on his hards. Is that can't be through tyre wear, surely not at this stage. He's not out of the race. But certainly it's not going to do his race any favours. Even fall behind Lewis and Mick at this rate. That was a purple last sector from us, which is putting the best final sector of the whole race so far. There is Charles coming out with Mick and Lewis. Max Verstappen just put in the fastest lap of the race. We're going to get lapped soon at this rate. Although, to be fair, Max hasn't stopped yet. A number of the front runners haven't stopped yet on lap 25. But at the minute, I need the extra ad revenue to help with my overall income. But Pierre Gasly in front of us, as we're discussing that, has retired. Pierre Gasly has retired in front. He's just pulling off the track. Can't really see an issue. Must just be some sort of technical issue. There was no blown engine there or anything. Yellow flags now coming up here to turn 4. And you'll see him on the left-hand side. There is the stricken AlphaTauri. We are up to P16. Thank you very much, Pierre.
Okay, clear.
Stroll is in the pits now, as is Carlos Sainz, I think, as well. No, it's Leclerc in the pit again. Leclerc's in the pits again, so he must have had contact with Lance Stroll, and he's now pitting for a front wing. It's all going to pot for Charles Leclerc. He pit for puncture, now he's having to pit for front wing damage, it seems. Just all gone downhill for the Ferrari. Not the start to the season that he would have wanted. We're up to P14 now as we've overtaken Lance Stroll as he's gone soft, medium. But that is his final stop of the race. We have one more to make.
Our gap to the car in front is 7.9 seconds.
That sounded a bit judgmental. 7.9 seconds. All right, Mark. Just because you've taken over from Jeff doesn't mean you can get all sassy with me, mate. Alonso in the pits, as well as Seb Vettel as well, who's gone to hards. Alonso is probably changing to hards as well, maybe a set of mediums, we'll find out in due course. Oh, Alonso is out of the pits on softs, is he? Alonso is out of the pits on a set of softs. Okay, that intrigues me. What has Alonso done previously then? What's Alonso's pit strategy? Medium, hard, soft. Did he stop for damage, though? Yes. He stopped for mediums to go to hards, to do a one-stop, and now he took front wing damage. He's had to pit for damage, presumably coming out of the pit lane, hitting someone, and now switched to softs a lap later. Can he make one set of softs last 22 laps? Now, Seb is really struggling with cold tyres. It's really intriguing to see that genuinely be a thing this year on the game. The fact that tyres coming out of the pit lane are just so cold that cars struggle. You can see how much slower they are through the corners with that tyre deg, or tyre temperature even. Seb's going to be vulnerable here. To go in defensive. Half-assedly. Try and take Sebastian Vettel here. Hopefully he'll be slow on the apex with his colder tyres. We'll force him out wide, and we've made the pass. We're up to P12. Bye, Seb. Probably high Seb again soon, but for now, bye, Seb. So our lap times are still okay. I just did a 35.3, which is only 0.3 off my fastest lap. Teammates in the pits. Has he had contact?
Losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Just keep pushing.
I imagine then he perhaps
is coming in for his stop now.
He's perhaps picked up front wing damage, maybe from battling with Alonso. I could ask about Mick Schumacher, but surely Teo pitted after us. I don't think Mick's planning on stopping again, is he? Let's ask about the car in front.
That's Schumacher just ahead. Push for the position. And gap to the car in front is 8.5 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Their tyres are 23 laps old. Time last lap was a 1 minute 34.9. Alright, at the moment you're losing 0.3 a lap. Come on, dig in.
I like that. There's so much more information over the radio there. So much more conversation from the engineer. But he didn't say anything about Mick having to stop again. Didn't say anything about Mick having to stop again. So presumably then, that does mean that he had to stop for front wing damage there, Teo. He did. Ah, man. He must have just clipped his wing. Battling with Fernando Alonso, and it's going to cost him. Seb is close, but he's not close enough at this stage. He's trying. He might have a go at me into turn 4, to be fair. He's definitely going to have a go at me into turn 4. I'm not even going to bother defending this. He's just going to go around me. See you, Seb. I'll try and... Oh, he got a bit out of shape on the curb. Can we nab it back? He's got better drive out of that corner. I might just give this up. And just try and stick in his DRS. Drive me a bit closer to Mick. Seb's not that far. Hello, Fernando. Where have you come from? Fernando Alonso in an Alpine on a fresh set of soft tyres. Turns out, quite bloody quick. I think Fernando will stop again, though. I think Fernando will stop again. Don't go for a dive bomb into the last turn, please. I'm going into the pits, pal. Thank you. He stayed behind me. We don't have to worry about it. He'll have DRS. He'll be very happy with that. And into the pits we come. Right, can I time it a bit better this time? Let's see. I got good. Okay. No! Oh! 5.1 seconds stationary as well. A slow pit stop twice. You could see the front right just wouldn't come off. Oh, it's devastating. 2 pit stops in. Oh, God. Go on, George. 2 pit stops in a row. Oh, my pit crew are rubbish. Gonna sit behind him until the first pit straight. As opposed to a second pit straight. Till the pit straight into the first corner. That's when I'll try and take him. So slow through the turns, though. Bit of cat and mouse with the detection point. Put him offline. Dip underneath and go. See us, Lance. Bye, pal. Thanks for the DRS. Tutty buys. Oh, Jesus Christ. How fast does he want to be? That slipstream was outrageous for him there. He's going for it again, look. I'll try the switchback. Oh, he's just parked on the apex. Son of a bitch. Now he's going to get DRS. The slipstream was phenomenal for him there. He just... almost as if he had another gear to go to. Excuse me, young man. Thank you very much indeed. I'll take P16 and I'll see you later, pal. Bye-bye.
Okay, so the car ahead's come in and fitted the soft tyre.
Yellow flag. Oh, Fernando's round. On his cold tyres. Oh, and they've hit each other. Oh, they've hit each other. Fernando has spun. He's let George through. Got offline. Hit the curb and spun on his cold tyres. And then he stopped right on the racing line. He's reversed out the way. I've avoided him. Lance does not. Oh, that's going to be a safety car. Lance tries to go round him. Misjudges it. They both lose their front wings. They both lose a tyre. That surely is going to be safety car. If it is, then we will pit again for a set of new softs. Safety car, safety car, safety car.
Resulted in lots of loose debris on the track. A safety car is being deployed.
Lance strolls out. 2 sync with a raid. Thank you very much. No, Teo Porter's out of the race as well. Our teammates hit them too, I think. Teo, please don't tell me you come round this corner and then just drive into the 2 cars in the middle of the track. You moron! That's exactly what he's done. Oh, no, someone else has hit him too. A Williams. Oh. Unbelievable. Two Sync, thank you very much for the raid, lads. I hope you're both well. 364 of you have just joined to see a pile-up on track and some really dodgy AI behaviour. I'm going to box. We're going to pit again. We're going to pit for a fresh set of softs. Alex Albon's out of the race.
Okay, it looks like the problem's terminal. They're retiring the car.
Unbelievable. Daniel Ricciardo's... Basically, every car is crashing there now. Daniel Ricciardo's out of the race as well. Please don't tell me every car is going to crash there now. I might end up winning the race at this rate. They're all just crashing into stationary cars. They can't even... They're not even trying to avoid it. Oh, we've been doing so well. We've been doing so well. Now my delta's mucked up as well because I paused. Oh my god. I'm just going to pit and hope that goes away. Pitting for a set of new soft tyres. Oh, that's frustrating. Got a good turn in. Now, change all the tyres properly this time. A good stop.
Well within the times we expected.
It took 3, but we have finally had a good stop. Everybody's going super slowly. We're not going to catch the safety car at this rate. George is just driving at about 4 miles an hour. I think my safety car's bugged. Because we're literally not... I can't overtake him because I'll get a penalty. Look, watch.
You've got to give that position back, mate. We're under safety car conditions and you can't overtake. Return the position.
So this might genuinely be it for the rest of the race, I'm afraid. If it is, then I will edit the chunk of it out. And I'm afraid that is our lot. I will try a mid-session save. Save and exit, and we'll see if it works. Now we hope that the mid-session save works. We just put faith in that. No, it's still broken. All we can do is report it to the devs, which thankfully, through the creator network, I have the opportunity to send the footage to the devs and show them what's happened, and then hopefully they can work on it.
Safety car in this lap.
Oh, safety car in this lap. Okay, it's fixed itself.
Those tyres are up to temperature, and remember, there's no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
We might be all right. It means I haven't been able to close the gap on everybody else. But safety car in this lap. Let's see what happens when the safety car comes in. Prepare to resume racing. It's not dead yet. We're off. We're off. We're off. We're back, lads. We're back. Right, now I believe that the leaders are on their last lap now, because we were a lap down, and we are about to start what will be our final lap. It's currently lap 56 of 57 for us, but the leaders are about to, or will, cross the line for the final time at the end of this lap. So this will be the last lap of the Grand Prix. There are a couple of cars in front of us having a bit of a battle. Bottas has been able to take Sebastian Vettel before the end of the Grand Prix there, so he's going to earn himself a P13. We, however, are going to finish P15. Thanks to a number of DNFs and the safety car bug, we weren't able to maximise our potential finish with these soft tyres, fresh soft tyres at the end of the race. But we did gain some positions from cars crashing out with the safety car bug, so it's here nor there. It's here nor there. We could have gained another couple of positions, however we probably gained a position or two that we didn't deserve to gain anyway, because cars that shouldn't have crashed out. But they're about to cross the line now for the end of the Grand Prix, and I just heard the fireworks over my right ear, and Max Verstappen wins the first Grand Prix of the season. Congratulations to Max. Your first race winner of the F1 22 season of our My Team career is Max Verstappen. Also on the podium, I believe, will be Carlos Sainz and potentially Checo as well, with George finishing 4th. We'll find out and have the full race classification momentarily, of course, but we're about to cross the line in P15 of the 16 finishers. There should have been 21 finishers, but unfortunately, bugs. It is what it is. But we finished P15 for race number 1 of the year. Driver of the day was Mick Schumacher. Congratulations to him. I don't know whether there's not like a little trophy for that, is there? Rounds of applause everywhere. Max Verstappen P1. Still in the car. We'll get out in a moment, I imagine. Was Carlos P2. And then, presumably, Checo P3. Max wins the Grand Prix. Oh no, Carlos Sainz there's P3. So, who was P2? Because it looked like... unless the... Yeah, it must have been... It looked like the Ferrari was second ahead of the Red Bull. We'll find out now. Here you go. Here's the podium celebration. Yeah, Checo P2. So unless the Ferrari was... The other Ferrari was Leclerc, perhaps. And I saw a red dot on the map. That must have been Leclerc, and Sainz was further back. Fair enough. It is what it is. I must have just misread the track map. I can talk, I promise you. It has been a 3.5 hour stream, but I can talk, I promise you. So a Red Bull 1-2 to begin the year. Adrian Newey up there with them, getting showered in champagne. And the championship will look as it stands there. So Max from Sergio from Carlos, who does get the extra point for the fastest lap. George in 4th, Esteban Ocon gets a P5, Lewis 6th, Lando 7th from P13. Kevin Magnussen 8th from 10th, and Mick Schumacher gets his first points in Formula 1. Up 10 positions from P19 start to 9th. Fair play. And Charles Leclerc goes from pole to 10th. Yikes. We were able to finish in P15, of course, so we'll be happy enough with that. So advancing forward from there, then we'll see what... Oh, as we say thank you to Martin for 100 bits. Appreciate it, my dude. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you for the follow. X2 Formula 1. Welcome to the channel, mate. As we advance forward, let's see what money we get. Damage deductions of 50 grand. Unfortunately, for Teo Porcher's front wing issued, but we do get some extra money. We're on $1.43 million as it stands. Now, we had some resource points left at our disposal, but we had used the majority of them. So we have a couple of days before Pirelli Hot Lap, which we will do on stream. But you'll have to let me know on YouTube. Do you want to see the Pirelli Hot Lap stuff, or do you mind if I just do that on stream? I think I'd probably prefer to do that just on stream. But if you'd like to see it included in a video, then do let me know. Obviously, the videos are going to be super long anyway, so to add another probably 10 minutes to an already 40-minute video for the hot lap is probably going to be a bit too much, but we'll gauge by your response. So R&D wise, I think I'm at full capacity for each department anyway, so we'll just save for now, and I don't have enough money to upgrade any of my facilities. So we'll advance time, and for now, I won't include that Pirelli hot lap here on the YouTube video. So for now, I'll say thank you very much for watching. Please drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Let me know all of your feedback down below in the comments section. And I hopefully will see you on stream tomorrow for the next video. If not, back here on YouTube. Link in the description to stream. Come and join me, Chesnoid Gaming, on twitch.tv. Whereas here on YouTube, of course, for the second channel, ChesnoidPlays. Do subscribe. Right, I shall see you in the next video. Ta-ta.